Okay, so for this first item in week one, what you're going to be doing is actually something different than I've done in previous semesters. I'm changing the order for various reasons. And what you're going to do is, and I'm going to go ahead and move from my slides to Canvas, you're going to set up your dev environment. And I'm going to specify how I want you to do it, and I'm going to show you how it's going to change when we get to week three. Okay, so coming back here, for 82, I'm going to have you first set up a code space. And now the reason I'm going to do that is that when you're learning web development, the more types of interfaces you have learned to deal with, the better. And so what we'll do is start you out on CodeSpace. Now, even for those of you that have comfort doing local, you can still do that later. But for this step, I want you to go ahead and do CodeSpace. Okay? So what you're going to do in this item, right? So the video you're watching now is here. And then the first step is for local and CodeSpace. This series of videos is somewhat generic for any of my courses. But I'm making this video specifically to tell students in this class how I want them to work through it. So you will do step one. Okay, so here's your step one. You're going to create your repos. So I'm giving you the overview. There's content and there's a video for that one. Then in step two, we're not going to do local right now. You're going to move to CodeSpace. We will come back to local in week three and have you do this for the local environment you're working on. Okay, so once you do this, you will move to step two in creating CodeSpace, and then you will move to the Get workflow. Okay, and then you will submit to show you've completed this work. Okay, now I'm going to show you in this video how to submit. I have some content down there below, but I decided this overview video would show you that. So the first thing I'm going to talk about here is kind of the end result. What it's going to look like in the end. Okay, so you need to follow all the steps, understand the timing of everything the best you can, and then work through it. And then when you're done, what you will have is you will have a private repo in our course organization. Okay, again, remember, you're looking at the end result. And after you create that repo, then you're going to create your code space. Now, I've actually ordered these differently to show they are different, because they are. And in CodeSpace, then what I did is once you set up your CodeSpace, then you learn the Get workflow, okay? And that's all the work that you're going to do there, and then you will push that code to GitHub, okay? So what we're looking at here is the results of the work that will be done in this assignment, and what I'm going to show you is how to submit it, okay? So when you're on your repo, and you can review this part of the video if you want, at the end. But what you will do here is you will come over to your private repo, and not in a folder or anywhere else. And later I may have you specify folders for this same idea. But you're going to find commits. Now in this case there should be, I believe, for everyone, 3, maybe more commits, okay, which is your initial commit, your update, and again, this is work you're going to do in this course. And then the last one is here, okay, which is learning the Get workflow. So this URL is what you will submit for this assignment, because what this shows me is that you work through all the content required. You successfully set up your code space, right? So there's actually going to be actually, this is the URL you'll need to submit. So when I come now, yours will look a little different because I'm not actually viewing this as a student, but what will happen here is as a student you will submit a URL, okay? And when you submit that URL, this is what I'm showing you, the URL it will be, okay? Now if I was to break this down, it would be GitHub, our course organization, my repo name, commits, and main. So the only thing that should be different for you is your repo name. Okay, so first, the importance of finding that commit, which is coming here, going to your repo, finding your commits, seeing that there at least should be 3 of them, and inside of each of them, really the most content one was actually the last one where I had you create that markdown file. Again, I'm previewing what you're about to do. Okay, so that's what you need to do to submit this item. And I'm going to come back up here. Okay, so just to be clear, this step you do, skip over, and by the way, if you want to, you can just kind of look through here if you want. We're going to come back to this in week 3. Create your code space. I've created my code space. You actually get a specific name on the code space. I show you how to stop and start the code space. Matter of fact, preview, I'm going to go ahead and stop mine right now because I've done all my work. I talk about understanding what it means when you're looking at your code space from GitHub and understanding the difference between, and here's where I'll end. When you're on CodeSpace, right, you're on a cloud-based interface for GitHub, but both GitHub and CodeSpace are on the cloud. When week 3, we'll move to a local setup. Okay, so move through this item. Reach out for help if you need. Remember, the videos that I'm go through here are specific to one of my classes. I used 93, but in this case, you will have 82 as your example of where you will see me maybe in the video. You'll see 93. It is specific to your course, and so don't let that throw you off. And again, this stuff will come back to later. And really hope you get through this. Hope you reach out for help if you need it. All right. Talk to you later.